It's May in Ireland, it's 9 degrees out, it's wet, it's miserable, so this whole review will be conducted from the comfort of this front seat with the heated seats on. Stupid Ireland! So wet and miserable.
This video is brought to you by Vendor Finance. If you're looking for car finance and want the best available motor finance rates, check out vendorfinance.ie and apply online today. Vendor Finance is 100% Irish owned. See the comment section for more details.
Hello and welcome back to the Cars Ireland YouTube channel. Now today we review a Mazda 6 and guess what we're celebrating? Mazda's 100th birthday. So if you're a more regular viewer of the channel, you will know that we tested the Mazda 3, Mazda CX-30 in 100th anniversary editions, and this week it's the turn of the Mazda 6. So the 100th anniversary treatment is basically the same for all models, but if you're not familiar, I'll just cover it very quickly. So on the inside you get the burgundy treatment basically. You get burgundy carpets, burgundy leather seats, and then there's some badging on the seats, the embossed badging on the leather, and there's badging on the carpets too. On the outside it comes in snowflake pearlescent white, which is very nice, and it's sitting on some very beautiful alloys. I think you'll agree, I love a multi-spoke alloy, and they're in this kind of dark aluminium colour. They're very nice, and they also have a little 100th anniversary edition badge in the middle too. So ultimately the 100th anniversary treatment is only cosmetic tweaks. There is no mechanical changes, no special suspension, no spoilers, no front splitters, none of that stuff. I actually think the Mazda MX-5 is the only 100th anniversary I won't have driven now at this stage, and that looks glorious. It's got a red fabric roof and white body colour, and oh my god, it just looks so good. Please bring it to Ireland. So what's going on under the bonnet of this Mazda 6? Well, we have a 2.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine with 194 PS, or brake horsepower. I don't know, are they interchangeable? Yeah, fine. Like 190 brake horsepower. And there's someone in a Kia Sportage. Up my backside. You get 258 Newton meters of torque at 4,000 revs and a quoted fuel economy figure of 7.4 litres per 100 kilometers. You will sprint from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 8.1 seconds. And today's test car comes with a 6-speed automatic gearbox. So I'll get the bad bit out of the way first. This engine and gearbox combination is not the greatest thing in the world, and I'm guessing it's down to the automatic gearbox. It's whatever way they work together, they just don't necessarily feel like they're in sync. Sort of like a marriage that's just gone stale. That's basically what it feels like. There's no communication and there's not a great sense of connection between the two. If it was up to me, I'd just probably still go for the manual option. Mazda makes some of the best manual gearboxes out there, and you know it's a safer bet. On the plus side, the Mazda 6 does drive a hell of a lot better than it has any right to or need to, really. Like, the most likely life for a Mazda 6 is probably going to be in the hands of Brian, the branch manager in some insurance company. And you have to get from Dublin to Cork, and Cork to Belfast, and Dublin to Belfast, and back again, and visit all your branches, and do that in comfort. So it doesn't necessarily need to be the most engaging driver's car in the world, but you get the sense that maybe there's a hint of MX-5 DNA in this, and it does drive exceptionally well for what it is. Steering is nice and responsive, you've got good feedback, good feel from it, you've got a good sense of where everything is up front, and it actually is kind of fun to drive despite that gearbox. You do have flappy paddles as well, but they're basically ornamental. On the plus side, Brian, the branch manager, will be happy when it's just tipping along on the motorway. The gearbox is in 6th gear and it's not doing a whole lot. You're not asking much of it, and it'll sit there quietly, comfortably, and it'll just eat up the miles without any real fuss. Yeah, it is a good driver's car. Maybe Brian, the branch manager, is a keen driver and he wants a Mazda 6. Now the inside does have a very premium feel to it, even though this generation of Mazda 6 has been knocking around for a few years, and thanks to this being the anniversary edition, we have nice little touches. Obviously we have the burgundy leather seats, which I'm getting very used to because I've seen it quite a lot now, but I still like it. I still think it looks magnificent, and it really is a nice little treat. I do especially like the embossed badging on the headrest. One thing I am curious about is, you know, I say it has a very premium feel to the interior, but I often wonder where people place Mazda in like a little league table of premium cars. Like, do they put it in that bracket of like BMW and Audi and that kind of stuff? Or is it in with Renaults and Skodas and that? Or is it a Volkswagen competitor? I'm just curious where people kind of put Mazda, because when you actually sit in them and are around them, they do have a premium feel to them. But I just don't know what's inside people's psyches about that brand. I'd be curious to know. There's lots of other extras as well, given that this is a special edition. So we have heated and cool seats. Do you like a cool seat? We have a heated steering wheel, we have a head-up display, there's radar guided cruise control, and there's all the typical modern safety stuff. The only thing that maybe tells you that this is a generation older is the technology. Technology has a great skill of aging something very quickly, and it just becomes very apparent that, oh, that's previous generation, just when you see the technology. So we have the little screen up here in front of me, and you can already tell it's just a bit older, just even the look of the screen and where it's placed. It's funny, it's something you can tell very quickly. But normally you only control it via the rotary dial down here for Mazdas, but this one is actually touchscreen too, despite looking like older technology. But the option to use the touchscreen and the rotary is good in my eyes. You know, it's nice to have options. You're well kitted out up here, you won't have many complaints, and the build quality is excellent too. There is a decent bit of room in the back too. I will fit behind myself at 6 foot, and I think you'd be pretty comfortable back there too without any real complaints. The boot capacity is 480 litres. Now obviously that is a decent number, but you do have to contend with the fact that it is a saloon opening rather than a hatchback, and just some of the drawbacks that tighter access does lead to. You just can't get stuff in as quick and as easy in a saloon as a hatchback. The price of the 100th anniversary edition model is just under 48,000 euro, and an entry-level Mazda 6 will set you back just under 35,000 euro. Now I feel like I say this on most reviews, but the mid-level spec is where you want to be. That's probably where the best value is, and that's about 40,000 euro. And from looking at the Mazda website, the mid-level Mazda 6 is called a Homura. Homura? I hope I'm saying that right, because it's just a cool name, and you know, you'd like to have the Mazda 6 Homura edition. That just sounds cool. It's like Street Fighter or something. You know the saying, what's rare is beautiful, and I think the Mazda 6 is kind of falling into that category now. It's got that square-jawed kind of front on it, it's got very clean lines, it's a very handsome looking machine. But it's rare nowadays. Any saloon is basically rare. So even just a quick glance at the stats for 2021 for Mazda. As of the end of April, Mazda have sold 178 CX-5s. And guess how many Mazda 6s they've sold? 24. Yeah, that's it. It just shows you the saloon it's a dying breed, people. We're not going to be seeing much of them. It's all about crossovers. Branch manager Brian has decided, do you know what? I don't want the Mazda 6 as my company car anymore. I will go with the CX-5 instead. And that is the slow death of the saloon car, basically. So that's our Mazda 6 review. Thanks for watching, thanks for coming along. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you again next week with another review. Thanks a mil. Bye bye.